The way soldiers fight on the ground is about to change. Forever. For decades, literally decades, there's been one argument that never dies. Is the 5.56 millimeter round enough? Enough range? Enough power? Enough to win the next war? In every barracks, every range, every after-action review. The debate never stopped, but now it's over, because the United States Army has committed to something called the Next Generation Squad Weapon Program, or NGSW. And this is not a small upgrade. This is not a better attachment. This is not a new paint job. This is the biggest shift in infantry weapons since the 1960s. We are talking about a completely new caliber, a new rifle, a new machine gun, and a fire control system that almost feels unfair. So the real question is, why now? Well, recent conflicts revealed something uncomfortable. Potential adversaries are developing body armor that can actually stop standard 5.56 NATO rounds, especially at longer distances. At the same time, the battlefields aren't getting closer. They're getting farther apart. Think about Afghanistan. Mountain ridgelines, open valleys, engagements stretching out to 600, even 800 yards. And the old M4 carbine? It was never built for that. The Army needed overmatch. That's a military word that basically means this. When an American soldier pulls the trigger, they must have more range, more penetration, and more lethality than whoever is shooting back. And that brings us to the star of the show, the new 6.8 by 51 millimeter cartridge. This round changes everything. Instead of using a traditional all-brass casing, engineers worked with SIG Sauer to develop a hybrid case with a stainless steel base. Why does that matter? Because it allows the round to operate at pressures around 80,000 pounds per square inch. Let that sink in. That is higher pressure than many high-end Magnum hunting rifles. More pressure means more velocity. More velocity means a flatter trajectory. And a flatter trajectory means more effective hits at distance. But here's the real twist. That heavier 6.8 projectile carries enough energy to defeat advanced ceramic body armor at ranges that used to belong only to sniper systems. So now imagine this. What happens when every rifleman in a squad suddenly has near sniper level reach? That's where the XM7 comes in. The XM7 rifle is designed to replace the M4 in close combat units, and the first thing soldiers notice when they pick it up is it feels substantial. It weighs about 8.4 pounds without a suppressor. Yes, that's heavier than an M4, but that weight exists for a reason. This weapon has to handle the recoil and heat of that high-pressure 6.8 round. It features a 13-inch barrel. It is fully ambidextrous. Safety, magazine release, bolt catch, left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't matter. But the most iconic part, the suppressor. And here's something most people miss. In this program, the suppressor is not an accessory. It is standard, permanent, integrated into the system from the beginning. SIG developed a flow-through suppressor design that reduces sound and muzzle flash without blasting gas back into the shooter's face. That is huge. In a room clearing scenario, in a night ambush, in close quarters chaos, less flash means less temporary blindness. Less noise means squad leaders can actually give commands that are heard. Suddenly, the entire squad becomes quieter, more coordinated, more lethal. And then we get to the big brother, the XM250. This is the light machine gun, replacing the M249 SAW. If you have ever carried a SAW, you know it is heavy, about 18 pounds empty. The XM250, around 13 pounds. Think about that. 5 pounds lighter, while firing a much more powerful round. It is belt-fed. It has a quick change barrel. And despite the increased power, it is surprisingly controllable in full automatic fire. For automatic riflemen, this changes mobility completely. They can keep pace with the squad, move through urban terrain, and still deliver suppressive fire that can stop vehicles, pin down enemies, and dominate open ground. But here's where things get almost futuristic. Because the real revolution, the part that turns an average infantry soldier into a long-range predator, is the XM157 Fire Control system. And this is where the battlefield starts to feel very different. Now, let's talk about the part that really changes the game. The XM157 Fire Control system. This isn't just a scope. It's basically a ruggedized computer sitting right on top of the rifle. Built by Vortex Optics, the system combines a variable magnification optic with a laser rangefinder, a digital display, and a ballistic calculator, all in one unit. And here's why that matters. In the past, if you wanted to hit a target at 500 yards, you had to estimate distance, read the wind, adjust your hold manually in the middle of a firefight. That's incredibly hard to do. With the XM157, it's different. You press a button on the rifle's handguard, the system lasers the target, it calculates the trajectory of the 6.8 millimeter round instantly. And then it drops a bright red aiming dot exactly where you need to hold. It's basically point and click for the battlefield. And that changes the equation because this level of technology removes the human error that comes with stress, fatigue, adrenaline, whether the soldier is shooting uphill, downhill, or across a windy valley. The onboard computer does the math in milliseconds. It even includes an integrated atmospheric sensor suite, temperature, air pressure, and at extended ranges, even air density can shift your point of impact. So now think about this. Every soldier in the squad effectively has the reach of what used to be a designated marksman. That completely changes the geometry of a gunfight. If the enemy thinks they are safe at 600 yards, well, they're not. But the transformation doesn't stop at optics. There's a logistical revolution happening behind the scenes. Switching to a new caliber is massive for any military. New ammunition supply chains, new training standards, new maintenance procedures. But the Army approached this with modularity in mind. The XM7 rifle and the XM250 light machine gun share a common architecture. That means streamlined training. Simplified maintenance, shared components. The parts are built to survive desert sand, freezing Arctic humidity, and everything in between. And then there's the digital layer. The XM157 optic can wirelessly connect to the soldier's integrated visual augmentation system, also known as IVAS. That means the reticle and targeting data can appear directly in the soldier's field of view, even if they're firing from behind cover, even if their head isn't exposed. This is the kind of technology we used to see in video games. Now, it's being issued to real infantry squads, but maybe the biggest shift isn't mechanical. It's psychological. When a soldier knows they can outrange and outpenetrate what the enemy is carrying, confidence changes. Movement becomes more aggressive, positioning becomes more dominant. A squad can suppress and eliminate threats from distances that once required a sniper team or a vehicle-mounted weapon. And here's the reality. Modern close-quarters combat doesn't just mean inside a building anymore. It can stretch to nearly 1,000 yards. The transition to the next-generation squad weapon program is a clear statement. The United States Army intends to maintain absolute overmatch. As these systems reach units like the 101st Airborne Division and other frontline formations, we are witnessing the beginning of a new era. The days of 5.56 millimeter being king of the hill are coming to an end. The XM7 and the XM250 are not simple replacements for the M4 or the squad automatic weapon. They represent a full evolution of what an infantry squad can achieve. This is the future of the American infantry. More integrated, more precise, more lethal. And if you want to stay informed about how the world's most elite forces are rearming for the next generation of warfare, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe, tap the notification bell, because every week we break down the most advanced weapon systems on the planet, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. We'll see you in the next one.